Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Iwanka with student ID number 2014-050007. Okay, here I will explain you about a video from Naila Farhana YouTube channel. So on this channel, apart from learning language in general, she also discusses tips for learning English and now I want to discuss one of the video entitled Understands English but Don't Say. Okay, in her video, she said there are 4 important skills in language learning: reading, listening, writing, and speaking. So this is passive skill, where you receive input, and these are active skill, where you produce output. So when you are able to understand native, that means your input skill are already very strong, very well trained. You have spent a lot of time getting input. You are now used to the sounds of the language when native speak. That's why you can understand them. But what about your active skill? At this point, you probably have not practiced your output skill enough. So just because you understand doesn't always mean that you can speak it. And why is that? So these are completely different skills. Well, these skills are not necessarily transferable. Just because you've trained a lot of your passive skill, it doesn't always mean that you will automatically improve your active skill as well. Of course, your input skill will help your output skill, but it's not enough. Input is the first step and then output. So if you take care of this part, it's time for you to get into the output skill. So the short answer why you can understand native speakers but you can't speak is simply because your input and your output skill are not balanced. So how do we go about this? So if you're already at a level where you can understand a native and then you can speak, it's time to move on to focus on your output skill. And here I want to and here her want to give you some active playing input. So just because you are moving onto your output pace doesn't mean that you should stop getting input. So keep watching or reading any of the shows, videos or movies that you've been love and enjoy. Don't stop doing that, but also be aware they that you can't only rely on doing this to improve your speaking skill. Just know that this is just one piece of the puzzle. Step 2: find a community where you can speak this language. If you're learning English, find an English speaking community on Google. You can simply just say English language accents forums, English speaking cat room, English speaking clubs, Discord. So some good application that you can use to find community could be Discord, Telegram, Clubhouse, and then can't think of anything else. I think if you just find one app and then you find one community, that's all you need. You can even find discussion group in English or any other language that you're learning about stuff that you actually enjoy. And then if you're into real estate, then look for discussion group about real estate, or if you're into reading books, then you can look into book clubs where people usually meet monthly or weekly to discuss different books. Or maybe if you are just someone who just broke up, and then you can also find a lot of discussion group on Instagram or any social media, and then you can actually interact with the community in there. So you can get as creative as you want to find a community, but it's a very important step before you find a community that you can commit to do not move to step 3. So make sure in this step you find a community, commit to a time, frequency, and actually show up if the community wants to meet once a week or twice a week or 3 times a week. Really commit to that. And then this give you an outlet where you can actually use your speaking skill is to practice it. Step 3. So this step you can actually implement in your input phase. So whenever you're watching a movie or TV shows or video in your target language, make sure to have your phone app on, or you have a notebook with you to actually write down the phrase that you know you're going to use. So be mindful and be selective about which phrase that you're going to write down and to speak out, because always remember to make it relevant. Once you have made a list and you've written down all the relevant phrase that you want to say out loud, then you go back to this community that you are going to meet, I don't know, once a week or once every 2 weeks or twice a week, and then use this phrase out loud. This is going to improve your skill. This is going to level up your skill and make you sounds a lot cooler. And then by using praise that you have found in native's content, so that exactly when I'm doing right now. So in about a week or two, I'm going to go to France for about 6 weeks, and I know for sure I'm going to be speaking French a lot. So what I've been doing is that I've been watching a lot of French movies and TV show, and I write down praise that I think is relevant and that I can see myself saying out loud when I speak to people. And so it's basically the stuff that her said before. So you've written down all of this in your notebook or in your phone's app. Don't just write it and forget it, but make sure you actually review and say them out alone. If you actually do not have people to practice it with, then turn camera on or turn your phone on and just practice them out loud. Imagine that you are having a dialogue with someone and then just talk about anything. Like, try to find a way in which you can make scenarios in your head. So once the camera is on, you can go crazy. You can talk about anything that you think is interesting. You can even pretend that you're speaking to someone else, because the thing is recording yourself speaking is actually a good fluence building exercise. Give that a try. If let's say you want to practice speaking, but let's say you're not going to meet your community in like 3 or 5 days, and you just want to speak, just talk to yourself. Turn the camera on and pretend that you are speaking to someone because it was loud. And when you are doing this exercise, make sure that you are using all of this praise, new praise that you collected and heard yourself sound a lot cooler, and that's going to improve your confidence. Okay, maybe that's all for me. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.